Your network hosts are the Stauffer Chemical Company, Country Companies Insurance, and the nearly 1,000 Country Companies agents in the state of Illinois, and DeKalb Ag Research, and the more than 750 local DeKalb dealers supplying Illinois farmers with quality hybrid seed.
This is the Assembly Hall at the University of Illinois in Champaign-Urbana, and this is it, the boys' Class A State Basketball Championship game. Hello again, everybody. I'm Frank Bissoni, working along with Tom Stocker and Coach Keith Baldwin, and we're all set to bring you the play-by-play story of the game for the Class A State Championship. It's Madison, the Trojans, and they're favored in the game, and it's Dunlap. And I'll tell you, they've done everything they've had to do, and we can't discount them because of that. They're ready to play.
The fact that you made it this far, Frank, is just a testimonial to how talented a ball club Dunlap will be. But obviously, Keith Baldwin, Dunlap faces probably its stiffest test of 1980-81 here in the championship game.
Well, I think there's little question about that. It's a very powerful Madison team that they'll be facing, a very strong team with an all-stater in Pat Hatter, and they've just played extremely well, and of course they had to beat the Providence New Lenox team.
Now, of course, Dunlap has got some size and Reinsman. They've got a good defensive player and a clutch player in Seiler, like we saw earlier this afternoon in the semifinals. In a game like this, can guts and determination outdo talent?
Well, I wouldn't say it couldn't, but I think it'll. I don't really expect that to happen. I'll tell you, I have been impressed with what Dunlap has accomplished. They do play tough defense. They're a very well-balanced team, but it'll be interesting to see how they go with the tempo. They must not get in a running game with Madison, just like Liberty tried to stay away from a running game in the last game, and it's hard to do.
Well, of course, Madison is a team, won the state championship in 1977. They've been to this game before. They know the pressure, and they also can play any kind of tempo. They can run, and they can also slow it down.
Yes, that was obvious, of course, against Providence New Lenox. And I think the experience of Larry Graham in the state tournament is going to be a factor in tonight's ball game.
So there we have it. We're going to talk a lot more about this championship ball game for all the marbles. Madison against Dunlap for the 1981 IHSA Class A Championship. We'll be back to talk with the coaches in just a moment, but first, one of your network sponsors is DeKalb Ag Research. The Eagles of Dunlap have defied the odds all year long. They have made it here into the state final game, Coach. John Kimball with me here, talking with me before the ball game, and it's getting to be a nice habit, I know, but this is it.
We're really pleased to be here, and I'm just really happy for the kids. It's great. I feel they deserve it, and I just can't say enough about it for the kids. It's great for the kids.
It sort of happens so fast, it gets tough to grasp the moment, doesn't it?
That's the bad thing about it. There's so many distractions during the whole week, and things go so fast that I know I can't hold on to some things that I'll wish later that I could. And I know the kids, 17, 18-year-old kids, they're gonna lose a lot of things.
The ball game tonight, without a doubt, you have to face your toughest test of the 1980-81 season in this Madison team.
Oh, definitely. They're a heck of a ball club. They're well coached. They're well disciplined. I've known Larry for a while, and he does a super job with him. He's got some great talent.
John Kimball, good luck to you and your Dunlap Eagles tonight. We're happy to have you here in the title game. We know you'll make a great showing.
Thank you very much.
John Kimball, the head coach of Dunlap. His opposing coach tonight in the championship game, he's been here before. Larry Graham, the head coach of Madison. Coach, you know what it's like to be in this game, but just because you've been here before doesn't mean it's like falling off a log, is it?
No, we expect a very hard ball game. Everybody thinks that everybody tells me we can't lose, and I hate situations like that. Dunlap has a good ball club, and we're worried, and we just have to go out and work hard and play well.
Do you feel you have to set the tempo tonight? And if you do, what would you like to play tonight?
We'll play man-to-man, full-court press, and we'll drop back to sort of like a half-court zone trap. And we're going to continuous pressure all the time and try and get to their bench.
The emotion of your ball club right now, you had a tight battle yesterday. You had an unexpected, rather easy battle against Cairo this morning. What about now?
Well, we have to guard against a letdown. I hope that we don't read the papers and listen to what people tell us, because anytime you play in a championship game in the state of Illinois, you know it's going to be a tough ball game. And just to reiterate, we have to go out and play well and play hard, and I think we'll be okay.
What about Dunlap?
Well, they play a lot of man-to-man defense, and we're usually really tough against the man-to-man defense. So I don't know if John will change or not, but we'll be looking at their defense, and we'll try to attack certain places on it.
Larry, congratulations. Thanks for being with us. Good luck.
Thank you.
Larry Graham, the head coach of the Trojans of Madison in the title game. They won it in '77. They're going forward again tonight. Now let's go to the bench and Frank Bassoni.
Thank you very much, Tom Stocker, and I'm all set, too. This game has got us all excited around the state of Illinois. The Madison Trojans coming in here with 29-2, and the Dunlap Eagles of 28-4. Dunlap's out of good old Peoria County. The enrollment there, 542. They're maroon and gold from the Black Hawk Conference. They're co-champions there. Madison out of Madison County, the enrollment 497, an independent. They wear green and white, and their population of their city is 7,000. Now we're all set for the starting lineup introductions and the playing of the national anthem in just a few moments here at the Assembly Hall. And while we have just a moment, because we talked to the two coaches, I know Keith Baldwin wants to join me in a salute. We don't always get time to do this, Coach, but I want to give a big congratulations to John Kimball, who's done a wonderful job at Dunlap, and to Larry Graham. They have been superb all year, and to get this is quite an achievement.
It certainly is, and they both have done an outstanding job the whole season.
Now the color guard comes to center court at the Assembly Hall. The people are rising, and here, ladies and gentlemen, is our national anthem.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we walked were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
The voice of Bill Olson at the Assembly Hall as we get set for the championship game between the Madison Trojans and the Dunlap Eagles. Dunlap comes in here with a front line of Bill Seiler, Mike Reinsman, Carl Birchfield. Front court of Lynn Arbogast and Brad Berger. Madison will start as usual with Mark Czar in the middle, Hughes and Claggett at the corners, Hatter and Stanley at the guards. All right, now we're set for the starting lineups for tonight's game, and let's go to the PA announcer at Assembly Hall. Here's Tom Trent.
Let's meet the people involved in tonight's championship game. First of all, for the Eagles of Dunlap High School, entering the championship with a record of 28-4, their head coach, John Kimball. Number 11, Steve Berg. Number 15, Mark Lowe. Number 23, Scott Pierce. Number 31, Frank Reinsma. Number 33, Dave Harlan. Number 43, Jim Beasley. Number 55, Todd Wieland. And now the starting lineup for the Dunlap Eagles. At forward, a senior, 6'3", number 51, Carl Birchfield.
Talk about a coachable young man, 10 points a game, extremely hard worker.
At forward, a junior, 5'11", number 25, Bill Seiler.
One of the best shooters in the entire tournament, Bill Seiler.
Starting at center for the Eagles, a senior, 6'4", number 45, Mike Reinsma.
The man they go to in the middle, the big, strong guy, Reinsma.
At a guard, a senior, 5'10", number 21, Lynn Arbogast.
Having an excellent tournament, Lynn Arbogast.
And the other guard, a junior, 5'9", number 35, Brad Berger.
He runs the offense, averaging 5.8 points a game.
Now let's meet the Trojans of Madison High School with a record of 29 wins, 2 losses. The head coach of the Trojans, Larry Graham. Number 10, Billy Papa. Number 14, Carvel Claggett. Number 22, Avery Crawford. Number 30, Dan Stern. Number 34, Mark Magid. Number 42, Shannon Manson. Number 50, Roy Campbell. And now the starting lineup for the Trojans of Madison High School. At forward, a senior, 6'1", number 32, Charles Claggett.
Averages 14 points and 5 rebounds.
At the other forward, a senior, 6'2", number 44, Morris Hughes.
Shooting an amazing 70% for the season.
Starting at center for the Trojans, a junior, 6'6", number 52, Mark Czar.
The man in the middle and going to the board.
At guard, a senior, 6'3", number 24, Patrick Hatter.
An all-stater averaging 19.1.
And the other guard for the Trojans, a senior, 5'9", number 12, Kerwin Stanley.
He leads the team in assists at 5.8 points a game. So it's Madison and Dunlap. And now the officials for this championship game. We have from Nashville, Dick Ruggles, and from Hearst, Leroy Newton, the officials for the title game here at the Assembly Hall. And we'll be back with the game in a moment. One of your network sponsors is Stauffer Chemical Company. It's Madison from the St. Louis area. It's Dunlap from Central Illinois in Peoria County, matching up, going for the state Class A basketball championship. And I've heard, too, what everybody said, that this game's a cakewalk for one team, namely Madison. But you don't win games with talk, and you don't win them on paper. You win them on the court, and don't you count out the Dunlap Eagles in this game. We're all set. Championship game. Frank Bassoni, Tom Stocker, and Keith Baldwin, we hope you enjoy it. Opening tip. It goes to the Trojans, and the first shot does not go. Rebound, Hughes does go. And Madison leads by 2. Morris Hughes got the goal. And as Larry Graham said, they're starting out with pressure in the backcourt, and Arbogast comes up. Here's a whistle and a foul. The foul goes against Madison's Charles Claggett.
We had a pick set in that backcourt to help ease that pressure on the guards, and that'd be a very important factor for those Dunlap guards.
All right, Reinsman's going to trigger it in at side court. We've just started the championship game. Who will represent number 1 in 81 in Class A? This will decide it. Brad Berger comes to the right. He's against Kerwin Stanley. That's a good matchup to watch. Reinsma comes outside, pulls their center away, and Seiler goes to a high post on the left. Now Seiler goes back to the right corner. He's a fine shooter, and I think Madison's aware of it. Birchfield steps into the lane, puts it off the board, doesn't get it. The rebound slapped around. Reisman's in the lane. He turns and clears it out. Good offensive line work. Seiler, right corner. Shot doesn't go. Another rebound for Dunlap. Here's a shot up and in by Arbogast. Well, Dunlap showed that they were going to go to the board, and they got the game tied at the 7-minute mark. Kerwin Stanley comes to a charging foul. Again, the defense of Dunlap shows up. Foul is on Kerwin Stanley. And the press is full court. Madison says they play very well against man-to-man, but Dunlap plays an awfully good man-to-man. Berger in the backcourt is called for turning over the ball. So Madison has the ball out. Madison wearing the white, trimmed in green. Dunlap in the maroon, trimmed in gold. Hatter is 24, the All-Stater. And Claggett comes outside. There's a zone. At the 2-1-2 zone. And that's not unexpected. They played man-to-man one time down the court, if I'm right, and then zone, Coach.
That's right, Frank.
All right, Claggett hits outside. And that's what you have to do against the zone is shoot from the outside. And that's the way Dunlap wants Madison to show they can beat them. They want to show that they have to shoot it in from outside. Arbogast in the backcourt. He goes in the corner to Birchfield, holding high. Birchfield walks with the ball. 6:13 to go in the first quarter. 4-2 Madison. Second turnover on Dunlap. Eagles set up in their zone defense. They've got their two top players just in front of the foul line. They've got it packed in pretty good right now. On the right, Hatter eyes the shot and can't take it. They post Czar down on one side, and Hatter tries outside. That's important for Madison because Hatter gets into the game when he gets his first couple of baskets. 6-2 Madison. Here comes Dunlap to answer. Here's a steal in the backcourt by Madison, but alertly, Berger picks it up for the Eagles. Arbogast comes out and gets the ball, sends it into Reinsma, goes around his man and scores. Nicely done. 6-4. The Trojans flag it way outside. That was out of his range, maybe. Seiler rebounds for Dunlap, who can tie with a hoop. An amazing victory for Dunlap earlier today. Reinsma turns and shoots. Good! The game is tied at 6 as Reinsma gets a couple of quick ones.
Mike Reinsma, very strong inside, Frank, as he has been throughout this tournament.
I think we're in for a good basketball game here. Hatter lobs inside. Shot is up and in by Morris Hughes. 8-6. Hughes has been a good inside player against everybody in the tournament, including Walter Downing. The top-ranked team in this tournament coming in was New Lenox Providence, but Madison eliminated them. Seiler's in the right corner for Dunlap. Birchfield sets the post on one side. Here's a shot by Arbogast. It rolls off. Look at Reisma. 6 points in a row. And look at the Dunlap cheerleaders as the score is tied. Mike Reinsma's fired up. Here's a whistle. The foul on Madison. It's on Kerwin Stanley, and that's his second.
There's that excellent defense that we're talking about again. You know, they draw a lot of offensive fouls, this Dunlap team.
Let's don't forget earlier in the semifinals, Dunlap came in here with an emotional victory. They seemed out of the ball game and came back in the last minute to win it. Madison had an unexpected, relatively easy time in defeating Carroll.
There's another violation called. Coach, what was the violation on Berger there?
They got him on a double dribble due to the constant pressure by Stanley.
Now the Madison cheerleaders cheer. 8-8 is the score. 4:15 to go in the first quarter of the championship game. Kerwin Stanley shoots. It's rare for him. He missed it. Seiler goes after the rebound, and look at him. He may be only 5'11" on the tape, but he plays tall. Berger comes up. 3:59 first quarter. Calling out a set play, too. Berger wheels the ball over to Seiler. Stop and pop. Yes, sir.
That's his spot. He has his initials right there on the floor, Frank.
10-8 Dunlap. The Eagles now have switched back to a man-to-man defense. Here's a shot by Hatter that rolls off, tipped by Czar. No, Czar's got another try that does go. Mark Czar stayed with that to tie the game. And the quality of these athletes. Backcourt, Berger against Stanley. Stanley's got two personals. That's important. Here's Reinsma. He's outside and shoots. He got that, too. 12-10. That's 8 points from Mike Reinsma. He averages 12.3, and he's got 8 with 3 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the first quarter. Well, if you're going to have a game, you might as well pick this one. Inside it goes. Morris Hughes' shot goes up. No, and a whistle. Foul is on Patrick Hatter of the Madison Trojans.
Okay, on the replay, you'll see Hatter, he'll pass off. He'll be the shot underneath. It's no good, and Hatter comes in over the back.
We've got some excitement. 2:56 to go. First quarter, Dunlap leads Madison by 2, and one of your network sponsors is Country Companies Insurance. Tracking heads for the state championship. It's Madison and Dunlap has a 2-point lead in the ball with 2:56 to go here in the opening stanza. Pressure in the back as Berger comes up with a left-handed dribble against Kerwin Stanley. Berger has no trouble. Goes sideline, looks inside. Reinsma, he steps in, puts it off the board. It's good again. Reinsma's going bananas.
Might as well go to him, hadn't they?
That's 10 points, but look at John Kimball. 14-10 Dunlap. Here's a near steal, and diving off the floor was Brad Berger going after that ball. John Kimball's got the Eagles ready to play tonight. Mark Czar has the ball tapped out of his hands.
Reinsma has scored 10 of Dunlap's last 12 points.
Well, as long as he's wearing the hot hand, they're going to get the ball to him. He's not their only capable scorer. Here comes one inside to Charles Flaggett. Neat play as he ran along the baseline and reversed the layup. 14-12 is Dunlap's lead. Arbogast working in the back, and he gets the ball up okay. He comes to the right, goes into the lane, swings it up, it rolls off. The ball is loose, and it's out of bounds, awarded to Dunlap. Now Bill Seiler's ready to throw it in. The Eagles break. The ball is tipped. Seiler picks it up and lobs it underneath, intercepted by Claggett. Stanley comes up. Madison could tie with this time. The zone again, 2-on-2. Claggett goes to the right baseline. It's Hatter from there. His shot hits the side of the board, and that's out of bounds to Dunlap. Country Companies Insurance and its nearly 1,000 agents here in Illinois are happy to be a part of this telecast, and we sincerely hope you're enjoying the action.
They're going to give the ball back to Madison because one of their officials thought it went off a support, but it went clearly off the side of the backboard, and all around the backboard, of course, is in play.
All right. Thank you, and Madison has the ball. There's a lob intercepted by Seiler.
Mr. Defense.
Well, we remember earlier today we said, and Seiler stole the ball, and all it meant was the game. Berger comes to the left. High post Seiler swings down the lane, banks it in. Bill Seiler has 4, and the lead for Dunlap is the same. Good ball game. Stanley, tricky dribble front court. Czar has a 12-footer off the glass. His 4th point. A 2-point Dunlap lead.
I'm glad Dunlap didn't listen to all those who foretold the imminent doom of their ball club in playing a team that's supposed to be as far superior as Madison.
Indeed. This is a very fine basketball team. Of course, they both are. To the top of the key and right comes Arbogast. Seiler gives it into Reinsma. He turns and shoots. He's got another one. Reinsma is scorching. He's got 12 of Dunlap's 18. A 4-point advantage. Dunlap's shooting percentage is blistering. Now it's back to man-to-man, changing defenses down the court. Claggett, stop and pop. Hatter has the rebound, steps in, missed it. This time it's Hughes. Morris Hughes makes it 18-16. The talented Madison team down by 2. And the fine team from Peoria with all their grit and determination coming here and wheeling the ball to Reinsma for another 2. It's amazing. He has a 14-point first quarter. Get the record book out. 7 seconds first quarter, Dunlap by 4. Claggett with the ball. 3, 2. They're not going to get a shot. Too late. A foul before the end of time. A foul on Seiler before the quarter was out. Now let's see. That's what it was. Okay, the score at the end of the quarter. Dunlap 20 and Madison 16. We'll be back in a moment. One of your network sponsors is DeKalb Ag Research. Those smiling faces belong to people from Dunlap's section as their team, the Eagles, lead 20-16. As you see that last play, Coach.
Yes, on the replay, you see the reaching in right at the buzzer. It didn't hurt them because we're not in the 1-and-1.
All right, second quarter. Reinsma with 14 points in the first quarter. Individual scoring record in the Class A title game is 32. Mike Lockhart, Lawrenceville. A 4-point Dunlap advantage. Berger comes to the left. Has this been a fine first quarter? Reinsma turns. He looks for help now. Comes out to Berger. Stays under control. Arbogast goes to the left corner to Seiler. His runner is in. Dunlap is burning the nets. 22-16 over Madison. The assembly hall is buzzing. Stanley comes right to left. Stops. Berger hems him in. Throws it out to Claggett, guarded by Arbogast. Hughes is on the left baseline. Now Claggett works back and forth on the dribble. Now Hughes foul line popper. It doesn't go. Claggett steps in, puts it up and in. Charles Claggett. That's 6 points for Claggett, a good player. 7 minutes to go in the first half. Dunlap by 4. Look at Berger get away from a couple of people. He goes by a man on his left and comes out to Reinsma. Reinsma's averaging 12 points on the season, and he got 14 in the first quarter. Arbogast. And this is against some good inside people. Here's Reinsma at the high post. They're surrounding him with 3 people now. Maybe he'll find Seiler free. There he is. His shot is up. No good, but Reinsma's got the rebound. Has it slapped out of his hand. And Stanley's on the fly. 3-on-1 against him. He goes all the way and scores!
What's he, about 5'9"?
And counting. Here's Dunlap coming up in the backcourt. They lead by 2. Reinsma whips the ball to Birchfield, and he's fouled by Morris Hughes. That's the 5th team foul, and we'll go. Now you see some of the statistics, Tom, in the first quarter.
Well, you see Dunlap shooting a torrid 71%. Madison, a respectable team average of 47%, but nothing compared to 10 of 14 from the field for Dunlap, and namely Mr. Reinsma.
Free throw, Birchfield is good. They also led the rebound battle 7-4. Carl Birchfield has another. He missed that. Czar rebound. 3-point advantage for Dunlap. 6 minutes to play, second quarter. Dunlap's back in their zone. I like how they keep changing those defenses. Got to make it tougher to play offense that way. Reinsma slaps the ball away.
Reinsma is everywhere, isn't he?
He really is. I think Madison would like to get the tempo of this game speeded up a little. Claggett comes inside, he walks. There's that defense again.
This is the kind of game that the great lore and history of the 74 years of the tournament is made out of. This team that is the underdog, Dunlap, taking it to the heavily favored Madison Trojans.
Coming up the court is Reinsma in the corner. He's on the move with the ball. Here's Seiler. His shot of a bad angle, and he knocked it in. Seiler has 8. Dunlap with a 5-point lead.
There are no bad angles for Bill Seiler.
I don't know if he couldn't throw it in from the popcorn machine. Here comes Hughes. He shoots 70% himself. What talented players in this game. The lead is 3 for Dunlap. Birchfield comes to the top of the key and gives it over to Reinsma. His stopping shot is up and off, no good, but Seiler rebounds.
And Graham is off the bench, hopping mad, letting him get inside for the easy rebound.
Seiler's got 10. Reinsma's got 14. Right now, Madison's got a problem. How to cool off Dunlap. Hughes shoots outside. It rolls no good. Seiler climbs, but Stanley stripped him and scored.
Kerwin Stanley does so many things for that Madison ball club.
You know, that's a team, both of these teams, you can't even pick a most valuable player, but you'd have to consider that Kerwin Stanley heavily. He's everywhere. Here's a pass inside to Seiler. He fakes and shoots. It's blocked, and a foul called on Seiler. And John Kimball thought Seiler got fouled on the first attempt, on the fake.
Exactly. He went up and forced the shot, hoping to draw the foul, and even went up a little awkward, but the refs didn't buy it and went back for the rebound. Take a look.
Here he's up to the shot. You'll see, questionable maybe. Here he comes in on the top of the Madison rebounder.
Madison, who beat top-ranked Providence with the basketball. Into the game is 14, Carvel Claggett. He's a brother of Charles Claggett. He's got the ball now. Stanley's on the right. He slides toward the baseline, comes back out between the rings. This is Hatter. He can shoot from there. He decides to pass, and it's knocked out of bounds by the Eagles.
Guess who? Reinsma.
27-24 Dunlap. 4:05 to go first half. Frank Bissoni, Tom Stocker, Keith Baldwin. Hope you're enjoying it. Steal by Seiler. Up ahead to the running Arbogast. He goes all the way. Dunlap by 5. You talk about an intense team. Here's a lob to the goal to Hughes. He's alone, and he got it. Nice pass and a good hoop by Morris Hughes. 10 points already for Morris Hughes. Talk about a guy that can score them in a hurry. Seiler comes up. Pass blocked down by Claggett. Picked up by Hatter. Here he comes. Slide and glide and lay it in is Claggett. Charles Claggett with 8. 29-28. Now Dunlap wants timeout with 3:25 to go. It's Dunlap by 1. And one of your network sponsors is Stauffer Chemical Company.
Welcome wherever you're watching across the great state of Illinois on WICD Champaign, WGN Chicago, WSIL Harrisburg, WRIU Peoria, KHQA in Quincy, WQRF in Rockford, WHBF in Rock Island, KDNL St. Louis, WICS Springfield.
And at the Assembly Hall, Dunlap with the basketball. That Seiler out of the corner. His shot is no good. And Madison has a chance now to take the lead. They're down by 1. Inside is Claggett for another layup. He's on his move. He's going to get the basket and a charging foul. So give Claggett the hoop and a foul.
Once again, they got the ball down the floor in very quick order. Watch Claggett go to the basket. You're going to see him release the ball before he goes charging into the defender. 2 points.
Frank, this is the first time that Madison has had the lead since 3 minutes into the first quarter.
It's because of the shooting of Reinsma and Seiler, as you can see there with 10 and 14. Berger gets the free throw. The game is tied at 30.
And it's also because Madison has been able to up the tempo just enough to their liking, I believe.
Berger missed that one. Who's got it? Claggett. So the score is tied. And right now we're at the 3-minute mark in the first half. The zone is set up by the Dunlap Eagles. Stanley between the rings over to Carvel Claggett. He gives over to Hatter. His shot doesn't go. Look at Charles Claggett in the lane. Missed it. A battle for this one. Seiler's got it. Now Dunlap has the ball in this tie game. Trouble in the backcourt, and Berger avoids it. Arbogast, stop and pop. And the long rebound comes to Madison running. Ooh, Dunlap got their defense back quickly that time and set their zone up. Madison tried to beat them back, but Dunlap was hustling. Here's a lob inside to Morris Hughes. It didn't go. Another try is good.
Excellent effort by Hughes to miss it and come right back and put it in.
He's got a dozen already. Madison by 2. What a well-played first half so far. Here's a pass intended for Reinsma, tipped away. They haven't been able to get the ball into Mike Reinsma for a little while. Seiler goes to the baseline. His shot doesn't go. Reinsma had the ball off his hand, and he was talking to the official. I think he thought he got pushed there, and the ball went off his hand out of bounds.
You'll notice also, Frank, that the increased tempo started when the other Claggett, Carvel Claggett, entered the ball game.
What they did is they took out their 6'6" center and put in a 5'10" players quicker. Here's Charles Claggett on a turnaround in the lane, and he's got a dozen also. And now Madison has its biggest lead of 4, and Dunlap looks to come back. Seiler comes down. Well, the way some of these Dunlap young men can shoot, they can come back anytime. Berger between the circles to Seiler. Reinsma goes and sets the post down low, and boy, they're trying to front him all the time. Arbogast sends one up. Look at Reinsma go to the board. He's fouled by Hughes. Second foul on Morris Hughes.
Take a look at it again as they got it finally inside the Ryans, but they had not been able to do that for a while, but take a look.
Okay, here's the jump shot off, no good, but watch Reinsma. Goes up so strong. And here's the foul by Hughes going to the block.
Reinsma shoots in his 15th point. 67% foul shooter, but a 64% field goal shooter. And we see why. He missed that one. Charles Claggett claims the rebound at 1:13 to go in the opening half. Madison by 3 in the ball. The Class A State Championship of Illinois on the line. Patrick Hatter lobs inside, tipped out of bounds, awarded to Madison. 1 minute. Madison triggers right down low to Hughes. They're working out of bounds play to perfection, and Morris Hughes has 14 points. Madison by 5. 53 seconds to go. Dunlap in the backcourt. Clears it up to Arbogast. Dunlap needs a hoop now as Reinsma's got the ball. His shot is rolling out, and Charles Claggett rebounds. So the momentum goes over to Madison with 36 seconds. Will they take one shot?
Yes, they will.
Kerwin Stanley holds the ball outside. It's interesting, the tempo picking up with Carvel Claggett, the brother of Charles, coming into the game with 20 seconds now. Madison holds the ball. I'm really looking forward to the second half of this game. Patrick Hatter way outside. Now 10 seconds. 9. Hatter, lob inside. Morris Hughes, turn on Birchfield, and he scored with 3 seconds. Madison by 7. They steal the ball, but too late. That's the end of the first half of play. And the score, Madison's Trojans 38 and the Dunlap Eagles 31. One of your network sponsors is Country Companies Insurance. Frank Massoni and Tom Stocker, along with Keith Baldwin at the Assembly Hall. And Coach, 38-31 is Madison's lead over Dunlap in the first half. You couldn't ask for a better first half of basketball.
Just beautiful, was it? Yeah, I'll tell you, I think the only thing that changed the game around, you knew that Dunlap had to cool off. That 70+% shooting couldn't continue, and then the Claggett boy in the game to get a quicker lineup helped.
All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Right now, here's a special presentation for you from the IHSA.
Welcome back to our telecast of the Class A State Championship game. I'm Ray Collier, the principal of East Aurora High School in Aurora and treasurer of the Illinois High School Association. It's the responsibility of the board of directors to make sure that the 26 different interscholastic activities in which the IHSA conducts statewide competition are coordinated with the total educational experiences of high school students. We sincerely believe that interscholastic activities deserve their label as the other half of education. The Assembly Hall is our largest athletic classroom, and we are happy to have you attending class with us here tonight.
Now we've got some special presentations, so they are for 3rd and 4th place in the state of Illinois. Here's Tom Trent.
Ladies and gentlemen, we direct your attention to midcourt for the presentation of the 4th and 3rd place team and individual awards for the 1981 Boys Class A State Basketball Tournament. Making the presentations will be members of the Illinois High School Association Board of Directors and Administrative Staff. Presenting medallions to the squad members for the 4th place team, Mr. David Turner of Porta High School in Petersburg, who serves the IHSA as a member of the Board of Directors, and Mr. Joe Sergio of Steinmetz High School in Chicago, who serves the IHSA as president of the board. At this time, please meet the Eagles of Liberty High School, who finished the 1981 season in 4th place with a final record of 27 wins, only 6 losses. The principal of the high school is Charles Hall. The head coach of the Liberty Eagles, Paul Krieke. Assistant coach, Doug Elledge. Manager, Terry Circle. Manager, Merle Simon. Number 10, Russ Gennenbacher. Number 12, Jerry Nyson. Number 14, Tim Dittmer. Number 20, Sam Ormond. Number 22, Todd Dietrich. Number 24, Mike Schneider. Number 30, Dennis Klingel. Number 32, Bruce Dietrich. Number 34, Jeff Owen. Number 42, Dion Nyson. Number 44, Jim Seals. Number 50, Blaine Rowe. And number 52, Rod Groff. And now presenting medallions to the squad members of the third place team will be Mr. Gail Borton of West Frankfort High School in West Frankfort, who serves the IHSA as a member of the board of directors, and Mr. John Dowling of Watseka High School, who serves the IHSA as vice president of the board. At this time, please meet the pilots of Carroll High School, who finished the 1981 season in third place with a final record of 30 wins and only 5 losses. The principal of Carroll High School is Leo Verbal. The head coach of the pilots, Bill Chumbler. Assistant coach and AD, Bob Conroy. Number 14, Tim Coleman. Number 34, Anthony Webster. Number 20, Lo Duncan. Number 32, Orlandis Hill. Number 10, Curtis Halton. Number 55, Darnell Mayfield. Number 24, Manuel Wilson. Number 30, William Bright. Number 40, Steve Williams. Number 12, Selma Snow. Number 22, Armone Matthews. Number 44, Jeff Jackson. The manager, scorekeeper, and bookkeeper, Brian Lewis. Manager, Henry Nelson. Manager and stats, Glenn Rogers. And now the fourth place trophy will be presented by Mr. Charles Smith of Homewood Flossmoor High School in Flossmoor, who serves the IHSA as a member of the board. Will Coach Paul Crakey and the captains please step forward and accept the fourth place trophy. Mr. Smith, would you please? And now the third place trophy will be presented by Mr. Donald Robinson, who serves the IHSA as executive secretary. Will head coach Bill Chumbler and the captains from the Carroll Pilots please step forward? Mr. Robinson, if you please. Your third and fourth place teams, ladies and gentlemen, a big hand for them.
We'll be back in a moment. One of your network sponsors is DeKalb Ag Research. Madison leads at halftime, 38-31 over Dunlap. They were led by Morris Hughes with 16 and Charles Claggett with 12. Czar had 4, Stanley with 4, Hatter had 4, and 3 players with 2 fouls. That's Madison. For Dunlap, the leading scorer, Mike Reinsma with 15, Seiler with 10, Arbogast with 4, Birchfield and Berger with 1. Seiler, the only player with fouls, he has 2. Scoring in the first half, Madison 56% from the field on 19 of 34. Dunlap 54% from the field on 14 of 26. Rebound battle, unbelievably, Dunlap 13, Madison 3 in that first half, or check it, 17 for Madison and 13 for Dunlap in the first half statistics. We're happy to have you watching our telecast of the boys Class A state finals, and we appreciate all the fine comments we've had in the past from so many around the state. If you have some comments, we'd be glad to hear from you. Just write basketball, Box 577, Bloomington, Illinois, 61701. The score once again at halftime, Madison 38, Dunlap 31. One of your network sponsors is Stauffer Chemical Company. You can call them Super, or you can call them Madison and Dunlap, because they put on quite a show here in the first quarter.
Well, they certainly did, Frank, and the second quarter was a little more than what Madison would like. They outscored Dunlap 22-11, doubled the score on them in that quarter.
In the ball game, the biggest lead that Dunlap had was right at the start of the second quarter. They led 22-16. That was right at the period there where Reisma was playing just about unconscious, hitting about anything he threw up there. Biggest lead for Madison in the ball game is the 7-point margin they have right now going into the third quarter at 38-31. And I tell you what, though, gentlemen, Dunlap wasn't even supposed to be able to take the same floor as this Madison team. At least that's the way everybody was talking. They're in the ball game now, and they're going to be in it all the way down to the wire.
Going into the middle, 24, Patrick Hatter against Mike Reinsma. Here's the jump, and it comes to Dunlap. Reinsma controls. No changes in the starting lineup for Dunlap, but Carvel Claggett stays in for Madison. That's an important change. Mark Czar, their starting center, is not starting the second half. Carvel Claggett is. All right, Seiler hemmed in the corner, has the ball slapped out of his hands, and then wheels the pass to Arbogast. Oh, he threw it intended for Reinsma. Reinsma had just broken toward the goal.
They're stacking up all on the right side, piling up everybody over there, and those two players are by themselves on the other side, called the weak side.
Madison comes down the court with a 7-point lead in the ball. Okay, Hatter in the left wing. Guarded man-to-man by Seiler. This time down, Dunlap's back in their man-to-man. Here's a nice defensive play by Birchfield, but he got caught for a foul as he tried to front the pass and deny the ball. Carl Birchfield picks up his first personal. 38-31, the Trojans. Here's a lob to the goal. It hit the bank, the rim, or the basket, and Madison grabs it. He nearly threw that one right in the basket, Coach. Berger comes up with the left to Arbogast. He wheels toward the baseline and stops. Looks inside, now back outside to Berger. There's Reinsma, steps in the lane, shoots it off the board. Mike Reinsma has 17. Pulls Dunlap within 5.
They need to relocate him in their offense, and I think they're going to.
I'm sure they are. Stanley moves inside to Hughes. Hughes' shot goes up on a high arching shot, and Seiler rebounds. Seiler averages nearly 7 rebounds a game. Berger's in the backcourt, double team to Arbogast. Dunlap tries to cut it down to 3. Birchfield in the lane and scores. And that they do. So the halftime lead of 7 is now 3, and Madison comes up. The tempo is again a bit slower. Madison looking for its first points in the second half. Has Charles Claggett outside right. Posted up down low is Morris Hughes, and Stanley's on the move with the ball. Here he comes. He pitched it up, and there's a foul on Stanley.
Okay, note right now, gentlemen. Dunlap is playing it. It's man-to-man right now. They like to play that belly button defense, and let's see if they mix it up a little bit later. Take a look.
Here's Erwin Stanley out of control as you see him going through the air, picking up his third foul, crashing into the defender, and he's out of the game right now.
So Kerwin Stanley with 3 personals at 6:03 in the third quarter is out. Mark Czar, the starting center, is back in. And Dunlap has the ball. They could slice down to 1. Bad pass picked off by Madison. So Madison has the ball back. Tough break for Dunlap there. They could have got the count down a little bit more. Here's a nice defensive play by Ryan Madison. Carvel Claggett with the ball. Gives it to his brother, Charles. Birchfield tips the pass. Out of bounds. Last touch by Czar. And again, Dunlap's defense pays off. And they have it.
Dunlap was overplaying on defense, trying to deny the ball.
There was a collision of bodies at center court. No whistle, and down court comes Madison. Charles Claggett, baseline right for a pop that doesn't go, and Reinsma's called on the rebound for a foul. That's his first personal.
When we talk about overplaying on defense, Coach, of course, you're talking about trying to play around your man, trying to have sort of half your body in between the man and the ball.
That's right. Birchfield and Reinsma have just made 2 beautiful defensive plays the last 2 times down.
Here's Morris Hughes trying along the baseline, and Seiler's got yet another rebound. Madison by 3. Dunlap's the ball. 5 minutes, 12 seconds to go in the championship game, third quarter. Mike Reinsma goes into the paint, steps in and scores. It's a 1-pointer as Reinsma's got 19.
Madison's now gone 3 minutes without scoring in the third quarter.
The intensity is there. Jump ball as Len Arbogast, and he did that earlier today. It'll be a jump ball with 14, Carvel Claggett.
Len Arbogast, as you remember, had 2 of the key defensive plays in the closing minutes of that game this afternoon.
The tip goes out of bounds. I think we'll jump it again. Right now, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification.
You are watching WICD, Channel 15 in Champaign.
Another jump ball as the tip goes, and we'll match it up again. DeKalb Ag Research and the more than 700 DeKalb dealers here in Illinois are pleased to be able to co-sponsor these IHSA telecasts, and they're happy you joined us tonight. Hughes gets the tip, but Birchfield gets the ball, and now Dunlap can take the lead with a basket. 38-37 Madison, and Madison hasn't scored in the second half. The deadly defense by Dunlap has held them back, and now the Eagles try to take the lead. What a representative of the Black Hawk Conference. Inside pass intended for Reinsma, saved by Berger. Both these teams play together so well, so unselfishly. Reinsma is held by Carvel Claggett.
Without a doubt, Madison lost its poise, lost its momentum over the halftime intermission. They have not come out of this ball game in the third quarter playing strong at all. And, of course, Coach, we talk about the first couple of minutes of the third quarter being so important in a ball game.
That's for sure. That's for sure. And they looked inside for Reinsma again, and he was fouled.
Reinsma now with the basketball to Arbogast. He's free. His shot does not go, and Charles Claggett rebounds.
Almost 4 minutes now for Madison. It is 4 minutes without scoring in the third quarter.
Team fouls are 2 apiece here in this quarter. Patrick Hatter gets loose and misses. And look at Reinsma clear the board. He swung it around like a slingshot. Madison by 1. Now, will Dunlap take the lead this time? Arbogast in the front court. I know Dunlap knows one thing now. They know they can take this game all the way. Here's Seiler faking. Here's a lob inside again. A great defensive play, but traveling call. Hatter got the ball, but he walked.
Yeah, he tried to bring it back in and started moving down court too fast before he had control of the ball and was called for the travel.
If the trend that we had in the first half would continue, it's about time for Bill Seiler to let loose now. You know, Reinsma did it early in the ball game, then Seiler took over.
There's the turnovers. Dunlap 9. Madison 5. Here's a whistle. And a foul on Charles Claggett.
Another grabby, reachy foul, Coach. The player is beaten. He invariably goes back and tries to reach in and grab. You're going to get called on the foul.
And he certainly did.
Foul was on Hughes, and that was his third. Foul was on Hughes. All right, here's a high lob outside. Birchfield's got. There's Reinsma. Shot partially blocked, taken down by Czar. Good defensive work by Madison. They lead by 1. 3:16 to go, third quarter. Charles. Claggett goes to the baseline, and Berger didn't quite get there trying to seal him off.
Good call, good call.
Right now, Frank, we're approaching 5 minutes here in the third quarter, the first 5 minutes. And Madison has yet to score. We've got 3:13 left.
But they're still up by 1.
Yeah, that's the funny thing.
Kerwin Stanley's back in the game with 3 personals between the rings. Here's a shot way outside and down by Patrick Hatter. Pat Hatter.
4 minutes, 55 seconds.
All right, Dunlap with the ball. 3-point lead, Madison. Here come the Eagles. Nice move by Arbogast to get himself out of trouble. Over to Berger. Madison's in his zone. Arbogast goes by it on one side. He's hemmed in and clears it back out. Arbogast has a knack of getting himself sealed in on both sides and then getting out of it. Berger whips the ball at the high post, and a whistle and a foul on Morris Hughes, I think. Let's check it. If it is, that's his 4th.
That could be a big problem for Madison. Take a look
personal
now.
Foul.
Yeah.
Okay, it is on Morris Hughes. Once again, Reisman pops open inside, and here he is reaching over.
There's timeout on the court, 2:34 to go. Madison leads by 3. We'll continue our coverage of the Class A championship in a minute. 40-37 Madison as these two teams scratch against each other to try to see who can be the state Class A championship. What a battle this has been.
Madison with only 2 points this entire third quarter so far, but has a lead, 40-37.
Let's see what Dunlap does offensively now. Arbogast outside, guarded by Hatter. Trapping the ball now, Madison. It's a zone. Here's a shot outside by Seiler. Oh, look at that! What a terrible break for Seiler as it came out.
I almost went out and had a lunch break while that one decided whether or not to fall in.
Amazing. It sliced around the rim and tantalizingly and then fell out.
For those folks across the state who did not see it, in our game for third place tonight, at the final buzzer, it was a big win, though, for Carroll, but at the buzzer, one of the Carroll pilots hit a 55-foot jump shot at the buzzer.
All right, Madison with a 3-point advantage, 2:09 to go. There goes Pat Hatter in the lane for the shot that doesn't go. Czar follows, and a whistle. Foul goes against Dunlap. It's Birchfield.
Okay, you'll see a nice maneuver here by Pat Hatter to start. Pat's going to have to take over now that Hughes is out. The shot doesn't go. There's Big Czar, 6'6" junior going up, and he'll shoot 2.
But also remember, they had took Czar out to get a quicker lineup. Now that they brought him back in, let's see what develops.
Czar missed the free throw, but he's a 73% shooter. He has another. Remember, foul trouble is important in this game. Hughes is out with 4 for Madison. Reinsma clears the ball over, and Dunlap has it. They'd like to get back within 1, but they're in heavy traffic now. Reinsma helps out.
Awful close to a 5-second call.
Birchfield, baseline left. Looks for Berger. Seiler's planted on the right side, down in the corner. Nice defensive work by Carvel Claggett. Slapped the ball away.
There can be no 5-second call in the backcourt.
It just hit me, but it was almost 10 seconds.
All right, Berger. Once the ball gets across the half-court line, that's the 5-second territory. Seiler and Berger exchange. 1.5 minutes now to go in the third quarter. Here's the ball on the floor. Berger scraps and picks it up. Back to Reinsma. Madison by 3 points. Title game. Seiler in the left corner. Hawked by Czar. Reinsma sets a post, and he's got the ball down low. He steps in, puts it up, and short. He's got it back. He tries, and he's fouled. Oh, he's a handful down inside there.
This certainly hasn't been the most offensive period of this tournament. We've only had 8 points scored so far. You see the foul.
And there it is. That was on Kerwin Stanley. That's 4 on him also.
That's very important. Stanley has to come back out of the game. And number 10, Billy Papa, comes back in a 5'10" junior. Now Hughes and Stanley, 2 key players for Madison, have 4 fouls as you take a look at the scopes of the sideline at the Assembly Hall. Reinsma hits. Reinsma now has 20 points in the game, and Dunlap's within 2. What a game by Reinsma. He's got another. Madison by 1. Dunlap a near steal in the backcourt as Billy Papa clears. To Carvel Claggett. Look at the trap. Pressure gets the ball over to Czar. 1 minute and 3 seconds to go, third quarter. Madison holding on to a shaky 1-point lead. Here's a lob pass to Charles Claggett. What a fine pass from Carvel to Charles. The brother act works, and Madison gets the 3-point lead. Here's a whistle. Looks like away from the ball. At least the out official made the call, and let's see what it is. Foul is on Billy Papa of Madison with 49 seconds.
On that previous bucket by Claggett, all the work was done on the pass. That is what made the bucket there, which shows you at home the importance of passing in this game. You can shoot all you want, but if you can't get the ball to the people inside for the high percentage shot, you're not going to win too often.
Birchfield shooting 1 in bonus. He didn't get it. And on the rebound, a foul called on Arbogast. Well, there's a tough turnaround for Dunlap. They trail by 3 points, and we go to the other end of the court now, where Mark Czar heads for the foul line. He'll shoot 1 in bonus. He's missed his only 2 tries in the game thus far. At the foul line, he's got 4 points. His free throw is in.
Of course, Frank, as both teams are down the bonus the rest of the way for the ball game, the free throw line will become a more important factor with the 1-on-1s.
He's the only player to shoot a free throw for Madison. He made a pair there. Madison by 5, 48 seconds. Berger gets it up ahead to Arbogast. They got a little break going here. Arbogast stops and clears back out with 42 seconds. Going to be a great fourth quarter, that's for sure. Seiler in the right corner. He and Reinsma have been the hot hands of this game for Dunlap. Arbogast saves it inbound nicely to Reinsma. Saved a turnover. Seiler turnaround one-hander. Too long. Rebound to Hatter. Now let's see if Madison goes for 1. Billy Papa marches up on the left. There's the clock. You can see the time coming down. Papa's outside. 12. Here comes Charles Claggett. Foul line jump shot. It doesn't go, but inside Hatter's shot doesn't go either, and a whistle foul. Looks like it's on Birchfield of Dunlap. With only 2 seconds, as you can see, frozen on the scoreboard clock.
Frank, that 4-minute 55-second scoring drought for Madison hasn't really hurt them that bad. They came into the period with a 7-point lead. They lead by 5 at the moment, and it could be 7. So that's a lucky break for Madison, escaping such a scoring drought like that with not much of an effect.
Well, defense has been the key in this game for both teams, as well as some outstanding shooting. Free throw by Hatter is home. He has 5. Madison by 6.
We've had a silent Billy Seiler this third quarter, which has hurt Dunlap.
2, 1, and Berger throws the ball the near length of the Assembly Hall. And at the end of 3 quarters, the score: Madison 46 and Dunlap 39. One of your network sponsors, DeKalb Ag Research. The Pontiac Band entertaining the crowd at the Assembly Hall, and it's a good one. Madison by 7. As you look at the statistics, Madison shooting 49, and so is Dunlap. Dead even. Free throw shooting. Madison a slight advantage, 4 out of 6. Rebounds, Madison a pretty good edge now, and turnovers, Madison has the advantage there.
But Madison has got 12 more field goals in the ball game than does Dunlap.
All right, Billy Papa has the ball as Madison gets the opening tip of the fourth quarter. They've got a 7-point lead, and Dunlap is perfectly capable of clawing themselves back into this thing and coming from behind. Mark Czar on the baseline right shoots, and it's tipped in by Hatter. Nice work by Pat Hatter.
Beautiful move by Hatter, and you remember in our pregame interview, Larry Graham said he'd like to get into Dunlap's bench. Instead, we are into the other team's bench.
That's for sure. And they've had to use Carvel Claggett an awful lot, and Billy Papa's getting quite a bit of playing time. Seiler shoots, and it doesn't go. Here's a jump ball on the rebound. Czar and Birchfield.
Right now, Madison enjoying the biggest lead of the ball game at 8 points. Making 9 points, excuse me. Never was good at math in high school. I think my math teacher in high school just fainted.
Let's see what Birchfield does here against Czar. The ball is tipped, and Madison controls in the backcourt. This will be a time the Eagles now will try to turn it over. Carvel Claggett slings it on the right to Hatter. Hatter's a quick player. Billy Papa on the move to the left. Birchfield fell down. Here's Hatter inside. He slopped it up. You know, Birchfield grabbed that ball, looked like it came loose, and he banged it again, and it went home for an 11-point lead. That's good body control. Hatter can do a lot of things. Plays inside and outside both. Arbogast. Now to Berger, way outside. There's 6:47 to go in the championship game. Madison has its biggest advantage, and now Dunlap has to rally. Arbogast, bounce pass along the baseline to Seiler, and he is hammered.
We talked about that 4-minute, 55-second scoring drought at the start of the third quarter for Madison. Well, in the last 5 minutes and 7 seconds, Dunlap scored only 2 points in that quarter.
There's Billy Seiler getting back into the offense, and Charles Claggett gets him on the way up, and Seiler is at the line for 2.
Excellent shooting, Billy Seiler, 78% foul shooter.
We haven't heard much from Seiler and Rhinesville lately, have we?
We've still got 6:38, 50-40. Coach, you've seen leads that size go away, haven't you?
I'd hope to tell you, and you have to give a lot of credit to Pat Hatter. He's really taken over when Hughes went out.
You know, that's true. We have to remind you that Stanley's out, too, with fouls, and Morris Hughes is out, and Hatter's done a lot. Madison team is deep. Here's a shot again by Hatter outside, and he rings the bell, and boy, was that a timely comment. 52-40, and that's a dozen points for Hatter. Now Berger sends it up ahead to Seiler. He's in some traffic and goes to the left hand. Here's a pass intended for Berger, goes over the back of the half-court line over to Madison.
Looks now like Madison's starting to prevail. They're taking over the tempo, controlling the ball game. Still has an opportunity to be a close game, but right now Madison's up by 12.
Czar turns around on a jump shot that's rolling, not good, and a good rebound by Reinsman as he got on the board. Now he's going to bring the ball up the court. He brought it up about 60 feet and then got called, or Carvel Claggett got called for holding him. Second foul, as you see, on Claggett. At the foul line, Mike Reinsma, R-E-I-N-S-M-A. 6'4", senior, 180-pounder. He's had an absolutely superb game. His foul shot is short. Rebound by Charles Claggett. Madison running 3-on-2. Here is a stop and pop by Charles Claggett. 54-40, 16 points now for Charles Claggett. Backcourt trouble. There's Berger. 14-point Madison advantage. All of a sudden they got some points, and here's a whistle. Violation. They couldn't get it to the half court.
A 10-second violation.
Now you're going to have a timeout on the court. Called by Dunlap. 5:32 to play. Madison by 14. And one of your network sponsors is Stauffer Chemical Company. You're looking at the turnovers. Dunlap with 10. Madison 5, and free throwing. Dunlap at 50%. Madison 4 out of 6. Madison's lead is 14. They have the basketball. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of teams that couldn't have come back after the shooting exhibition that Reinsman Seiler put on early in this game. Madison can, and look at Hatter. Hatter's got 14. It's a 56-40 Madison lead in the fourth.
That's right, Frank. At one point in the first half, Dunlap was shooting 71% from the field.
Here's Reinsman sliding in. He fires it up, hits the board, and comes down to Czar. All right, Carvel Claggett come in. Remember, Kerwin Stanley and Morris Hughes have been out a long time, and Madison still played brilliantly. Papa between the rings, guarded closely by Arbogast. Dunlap's got to turn the ball over. There's a shot out of the dead corner, not good. Birchfield rebounds. Hatter was a little long.
It has been over 8 minutes since Dunlap has scored a field goal. That's almost a quarter. It's been over 8 minutes, so it is a quarter.
4:35 to go. Berger goes to the right. Needs some help, and Seiler gives it to him. Seiler is right there in the spot he likes to shoot from, and now swings on the other side. Berger goes into the lane. Bounce pass to Arbogast. The ball goes loose. Seiler picked it up, and a foul. It's on Dunlap. I think on Arbogast.
I think not only are you seeing Madison playing extremely well and shooting well now, but I think the fatigue, both mental and physical, is beginning to show now on Dunlap.
Well, it must. You know, Dunlap has played this entire game with its starting lineup. This team of Dunlap's averages 62.5 and only gives up 50 on an entire season. You can see why they advanced all the way to the finals. 4:15 to go. They've got the ball. Mike Reinsman in the backcourt with Berger. Some points on the board, and now is what Dunlap needs. Arbogast looks inside and slings it up. There was a whistle and a foul leaning in called on Arbogast.
Player control foul leading in while he was trying to get position for the shot. And things are going from bad to worse now for Dunlap, a gutty ball club who had been taking it to Madison through the first 3 quarters of this ball game.
A little frustration on the part of Arbogast here. He wanted a basket so badly he tried to bull his way through 2 defenders.
Carvel Claggett on the move right to left. He's been a very valuable reserve here for Madison in this game. Jump ball as the ball went on the floor. Czar and Reinsma. .346 left in the game. Well, Coach, depending on who plays in a game depends on the style of certain other teams you're playing and the situations, and certainly Carvel Claggett and Billy Papa have come in and given Madison good help.
Good quickness on the part of both of them.
Here's a long pass to Berger from Seiler, and he gets it. Brad Berger got the basket, 56-42 Madison. Claggett coming back up. Let's see if Madison runs some time off the clock here. Dunlap has an enemy in the clock here. There goes Papa swinging down the right baseline. He goes out of bounds, awarded to Dunlap.
Frank, Dunlap had gone 9 minutes and 29 seconds without a field goal and scoring only 2 points in that period. So that's well over a quarter.
Key part of the basketball game. Papa got his hand on the ball. And a nice save inbounds by Carvel Claggett. I don't know how he ever reached that ball before it went out of bounds. Here's a long shot by Charles Claggett, not good. And Dunlap has the ball. That's Seiler. Up ahead to Berger. Now there's 3 minutes left in the championship game, and Madison owns a 14-point advantage. Seiler looks inside and now starts on the move to the baseline. Well, this defense from Madison is really tough. Here's Reinsman's baseline shot, not good. Czar rebounds. On the right, the ball is kicked loose and out of bounds. And it'll be Dunlap's ball. And right now, Madison wants to call timeout with 2:42 left. As you see Coach Larry Graham. Madison leads by 14. And one of your network sponsors is Country Companies Insurance. .56-42, Madison, 2:42 to go, as the fine coach of Dunlap, John Kimball, was on your screen. John is a graduate of Western Illinois. Now coming into the game, Kerwin Stanley and Carvel Claggett goes out for Madison. Stanley, of course, starter, was out with foul trouble. Still pressure in the backcourt by Madison, and Reinsma comes down to help out. Dunlap going to the baseline now to Seiler. He steps into the lane, has his shot blocked by Czar. Birchfield gets it back, and he is fouled. Czar picks up the personal. That's one thing that, of course, that Madison doesn't want to do. They don't want to stop this clock here.
Madison landed 2 players on the all-tournament team. Patrick Hatter and Morris Hughes named to the first team all-tournament team by the Associated Press, which is voted on by the media, and by United Press International, voted on by the coaches.
Free throw by Birchfield is good.
Walter Downing played 1 game in the tournament, scored 27 points in the quarterfinals, and he is also on there. Anthony Webster of Cairo and Lorenzo Duncan of Cairo. And that's it. Both teams are identical.
Is that right?
That's exactly right.
Well, I'll tell you, guys like Reinsma, Seiler, I don't mean to leave anybody out, but there's a lot of other players, and we'll have to read some more talented players here in a moment. Charles Claggett coming up with the ball, 2:22 on the clock. He's been a good player tonight, too, for Madison, a big lift. Here's a loose ball poked away by Arbogast. He's on the fly now to the basket. Good body control. He missed it. Seiler's got it, though, and he scores. Bill Seiler. He's got 13 points. There's still 2:07 left, and there's a whistle. Looks like one of the Madison players or 2 are on the floor down there.
They took each other out of that play, I believe, Frank. I think they're okay, though. Yeah, they're up and ready to go.
Now, that's one very good thing about this tournament. There hasn't been any injuries. And it's been a very hard-played and well-played tournament.
As for Dunlap, Len Arbogast was named to the second team by Associated Press. And Seiler was named second team by UPI.
And Reinsma was all everything tonight. Okay, on the move now is Morris Hughes. 1:53 to go. Madison won the state championship in Class A in 1977, and they're 1 minute and 45 seconds away from doing it again in 1981. Great job by Larry Graham with his Madison Trojans. 1:35 now. Here's a pass all alone downstairs for a layup is Charles Claggett. 58-45, and Madison worked their delay game very nicely. Berger in the backcourt. 1 minute and 20. There's Birchfield. Give a lot of credit to both these teams. And don't forget Dunlap here, folks. They
Exactly.
came a long ways and played absolutely brilliantly.
This margin right now, Frank and Coach, no indication at all as to the gutsiness, the talent, the ability of Dunlap. They really had Madison shaking for a while. Madison knew they were in a ball game.
And I'll tell you, if you can play that way with Madison, you can play with anybody in Class A.
I'd hope to tell you, and I believe Dunlap ran out of gas a little bit, but on the other hand, give Madison a lot of credit because they had 2 starters out of the ball game, and they went to their bench and continued to play very well.
You know, the ability of these people and the coaches just keeps getting better every year. It's absolutely a tribute. Hughes spins it out. Rebound Birchfield. 1 minute and 8 seconds to go. Reinsma comes.
Frank, those of us who have worked around this country and covered some other high schools and other states, you know just how good Illinois is.
Oh, number 1, 54 seconds. Shot on the other end was by Seiler that didn't go. And now the fans are starting to make some noise on the Madison side as the clock goes down. On the move with the ball is Hatter. He's still hawked by Seiler. Here's a turnover violation against Kerwin Stanley. Palmed the ball with 35 seconds left. 13 points is the lead. And now there's a timeout called down on the court. Timeout with the score. Madison 58, Dunlap 45. We'll be back in just a moment. One of your network sponsors is Stauffer Chemical Company. All right. Play was just back in for a second. Our reserves were in the ball game. Todd Whelan made a basket for Dunlap. We apologize for that. And immediately after they made the goal to make an 11-point advantage, Dunlap called a timeout. They started a little bit soon. Todd Whelan, number 55. Frank Reinsma is also in the game now, and we ought to mention all the reserves that we can. For Dunlap, the reserves are Steve Berg. You can see some of them. You're looking at Reinsma there, and you can tell how badly this team feels about not being able to win the state championship, but in my mind, there's no loser here tonight. Reserves for Dunlap, Steve Berg, Mark Lowe, Scott Pierce, Frank Reinsma, he's the twin of Mike, Dave Harlan, Jim Beasley, and Todd Whelan. The clock shows 24 seconds left.
I think we ought to take opportunity now and salute all of the Elite 8 members: Putnam County, Carroll, Madison, New Lenox, Providence, Pana, Liberty, Dunlap, and Danville Schlarman. They provided us with a great tournament here in 1980-81 in Class A. Class A basketball gets better and better, Coach, and looking forward to 82.
Yes, we certainly are too, and you're absolutely right. This has been a fine tournament, and some excellent individual players, as many as I can remember for quite some time.
I guess maybe the one drawback of the whole tournament, at least in my mind, is the fact we were not able to see a player of the ability of Walter Downing all the way through the tournament since Providence was eliminated back on Friday afternoon in the quarterfinals. But still, there was plenty of other excitement.
Of course, the people up farther north are saying they wish that we could all seen Pierre Cooper also.
Very true.
One thing I'd like to mention while we have a moment as you look at Larry Graham of Madison is I'd like to give a mention of the assistant coaches who worked so hard. David of Madison, David Hodges, John Pascas, and Marcus Spraggin. For Dunlap, the assistants are Ron Lowry and Dan Tanney. Principal of Dunlap is Craig Whitlock, and Dan Kostensky, the principal of Madison. All those people take a part in this really rich tradition of this great tournament. 23 seconds on the clock. And it looks like Dunlap is going to have the basketball. They do.
About to put another notch in the marble of Class A basketball history. Put it in the books.
All right, 33 is Harlan with it. Here's a shot outside, not good, and the rebound comes down to Madison in the lane. There's 15 seconds left in this one, and the foul is called on Frank Reinsma. That shows you the feelings that go along here. Dunlap and Madison battling for a state championship. Lots of emotion involved in this.
The hopes, the dreams, the aspiration to being number one. Only one team can be number one. Tonight it's going to be Madison. In every town across Illinois, the Sweet 16, the Elite Eight, their team is indeed number one in their town.
And Larry Graham, of course, by being here in the Final Eight, also has established a coaching record for being here 4 times. That's the most any coach has brought his team to the Elite Eight in the 10-year history of the tournament.
Here's the shot, not good by Carvel Claggett, and there's a whistle on the play. Of course, we're going to have award presentations after the ball game for the championship trophy and the second place award.
And also Larry sets ties 2 other records, tying Ron Felling of Lawrenceville for most titles with 2, and also tying Ron for most times coaching in a title game with 2.
That's an amazing tribute. Okay, now for Madison, some of the reserves are in also, and we'll pick them up as we can here. Roy Campbell, I know, has come in, number 50. Avery Crawford, 22. Here's Campbell getting the rebound. He kicks it out to Crawford. Madison running with 7 seconds, an 11-point lead. Here's a shot off the board, not good. The ball kicked way out onto the court and picked up by Avery Crawford. And that's the end of the Class A state championship, and Madison wins. The Trojans are the state Class A champions. They win 58-47 over Dunlap's Eagles in an exciting Class A championship game. We'll continue our coverage of the Class A championship in a minute. And now let's join the PA announcer here, Tom Trent.
Ladies and gentlemen, we direct your attention to midcourt for the presentation of the first and second place team and individual awards for the 1981 Boys Class A State Basketball Tournament. Making the presentations will be members of the Illinois High School Association Board of Directors and administrative staff. Presenting medallions to the squad members of the second place team will be Mr. John Dowling of Watseka High School, who serves the IHSA as vice president of the board, and Mr. Ray Collier of East Aurora High School in Aurora, who serves the IHSA as treasurer of the board. At this time, we'd like you to meet the Eagles of Dunlap High School. They finished the 1981 season in second place. Final record, 28 wins, only 5 losses. The high school principal, R. Craig Whitlock. The head coach of the Eagles, John Kimball. Sophomore coach, Ron Lowry. Freshman coach, Don Tanney. Number 11 is Berg. That's Steve Berg. Number 15 is Mark Lowe. 23, Scott Pierce. 21, Lynn Arbogast. Number 31, Frank Reinsma. Number 25, Bill Seiler. Number 33, Dave Harlan. Number 35, Brad Berger. Number 43, Jim Beasley. Number 45, Mike Reinsma. Number 51, Carl Birchfield. Number 55, Todd Wieland. Student aide, Jim Headley. Student trainer, Darren McCarty. Presenting medallions to the squad members of the first place team will be Mr. Gail Borton of West Frankfort High School, who serves the IHSA as a member of the board, and Mr. David Fry, who serves the IHSA as Associate Executive Secretary. At this time, please meet the state champion Trojans of Madison High School, who finished the 1981 season with a final record of 30 wins, 2 losses. The principal of the high school, Dan Kostensky. The head coach of the Trojans, Larry Graham. Assistant coach, David Hodges. Manager, Donald Edwards. Statistician, Adrian Sharp. Number 12, Kerwin Stanley. Number 32, Charles Claggett. Number 52, Mark Czar. Number 24, Patrick Hatter. Number 44, Morris Hughes. Number 14, Carvel Claggett. Number 34, Mark Madgett. Number 50, Roy Campbell. Number 22, Avery Crawford. Number 30, Dan Stern. Number 42, Shannon Manson. Number 10, Billy Papa. And number 20, Darrell Baker. Now the second place trophy will be presented by Mr. L.L. Astroth, who serves the IHSA as its executive secretary. Will head coach John Kimball and the captains of the Dunlap Eagles step forward? Mr. Astroth, if you please. And now the first place trophy will be presented by Mr. Joseph Sergio of Steinmetz High School in Chicago, who serves the IHSA as its president of the board. Will head coach Larry Graham and the captains from the Madison Trojans step forward, please? Mr. Sergio, your state champions for 1981, the Madison Trojans.
Stay tuned now for a scoring recap on this game. Right now, one of your network sponsors is DeKalb Ag Research.
Mark Czar would be good, and Morris Hughes. Morris Hughes would be good.
Okay, it's all over for 1981 here at the Assembly Hall in Champaign. The state champions are the Trojans of Madison. 2 times, Coach, you have now walked up to claim the title trophy. Tell me, how does this one feel in 1981?
Well, this feels just as good as the first one, maybe a little bit better, because the first one happened so fast that I wasn't prepared for it. But this time, we knew we had a good ball club, and we were able to come on, and I'm really proud of my kids.
Coach, we talked before the game. Everybody around Champaign was saying it's not going to be a contest. They were wrong.
Oh, you have to give Coach Kimball and his team a lot of credit. I think my players were talking to everybody around Champaign because we just didn't play hard, but we were tired, you know, and we played 2 really tough ball games to get here, and but we hung in there. We kept our heads up. We didn't play well, but still we came on and we won the ball game.
Early in the game, Larry, did you think Mike Reinsman might go all evening without missing the shot?
I did. We tried to get our point guard back on Reisman, but we couldn't get him back. And well, he did a great job the way he moved, especially on his offensive rebounds. We couldn't check him out. So he really deserves a lot of credit.
You know, I thought there were two key things that happened. Of course, you made your big move with two of your starters on the bench, which has to make you feel awfully good as the coach staff, two guys to come in and play that well.
Well, I probably should have put him in earlier if I wanted to second-guess myself, but I thought that Billy Papa, the little guard, made a great pass, and I know it was a tight ball game, maybe 6-7 point, and he made a tremendous pass, and that was one of our big plays. But our bench came in and helped us win the ball game.
Coach, congratulations. We're going to take time and talk with some of the guys who won the game. Coaches, just sit there and just tell them what to do. They go out and win it, right?
Oh, that's right. That's all there is to it.
Congratulations. Let's bring in first the All-Stater, Patrick Hatter. Come on in, Patrick. Tell me right now, just how do you feel?
Real great. I never felt so good in my life. Without the team members, couldn't have never got here. I'm the All-Stater. I'm the only All-Stater, but I think the whole team should be named to the All-Stater team.
Tonight, Dunlap gave you a heck of a battle, didn't they? Everybody said it wasn't going to be much of a battle.
They surprised us. They came out on top. They was ready for us. They put us in a bad situation at one time. We came out on top.
Obviously, then, those who said just because you beat Providence yesterday, they should have given you the state title. You had to earn it tonight, didn't you?
Yeah, we knew we was going to have to earn it. We had to earn it through K-Roll, and we had to earn it tonight.
Patrick Hatter, congratulations. Go and enjoy a state championship.
All right.
Okay, let's bring in Morris Hughes. Come on, Mo, come on inside here. We're going to keep parading him on in. Tell me, how do you feel right now?
Good. Real good.
When you guys were back starting the season, back in September and October, working out, then starting the season in November, state title, did you guys figure you could come here and claim the trophy?
We've been saying that since 8th grade. Since 8th grade. We're going to take it off.
Basketball's a real tradition at your school, isn't it?
Yeah.
How do you feel about your teammates?
I like them all except Shannon Manson. He gets on my nerves.
Well, you know, Morris, you were going off to a great start, and then you had to sit down a while. How did it feel sitting over there on the bench in foul problems, watching the other guys do the job for a while?
Didn't feel too good.
You're happy, though. You go home and take the state trophy and enjoy it for 1981 and for the rest of your life. Congratulations.
Yep.
All righty. Okay, thank you very much, Morris. Just come on in. Mark Czar, big center. Mark, quickly, congratulations. Dunlap really gave you a battle.
Yeah, they sure did. It was a pretty tough team.
What were you thinking when Reisman was playing just about unconsciously out there?
Man, we just had to contain him a little bit. You know, we knew he was going to get his, but we just tried to contain him in the second half in the locker room during our talk.
You have to feel kind of happy that you were a big part of that comeback because you were in foul trouble, and you were one of the two people coming in off the bench to help bring back the big rally.
Yeah, the whole team really contributed to this game a lot. We got a lot of good play from our bench.
You guys have earned yourself a place in Illinois high school history as 1981 state champions. Congratulations.
I'd like to say one more thing. We're number one.
Of course. That's what it's all about, finding out who was number one, and it is Madison for 1981. A great tournament here. We're going to be back with more. First, one of your network sponsors is Stauffer Chemical Company. And we're talking now with the principal of Madison High School, the state champions, Dan Kostensky. And Dan, it's hard to really tell your feelings right now, but it's a great moment for your high school.
Yes, it is. We're very pleased, very happy, just happy beyond words.
How do you feel about the program that Larry Graham runs at your school?
Oh, what can you say? You know, you come up here 3 times in a row and 4 times out of 5 years. You know, you can't knock the guy. He's if this doesn't prove it, he's one of the best coaches in the state of Illinois, regardless of class.
Remember that come raise time.
Yeah, that's what we were noticing. He established 3 records, so I was wondering about that raise.
Is that right? What records did he establish?
Well, he tied the record for most titles, most title games, and also most appearances. So he's a record-holding coach.
That's right. Well, he sure is. We're very proud of him.
The following your team has had all year and exemplified here tonight has been fantastic.
I'll tell you what, every game that we go to, we went down to Mountains Meridian the first game of the season. We've gone over to Teotopolis. We always take at least 250 to 300 people with us. They support the club. It's tremendous, the support that we get from our fans.
The excellence of your basketball program must spill over into your community, and obviously you see that as a leading example for your community.
I agree. It's one of the things that our community is very proud of.
Your whole athletic program, in fact, is fine. You have a good track team and all sorts of things. So it's just a testimonial to your whole school, and our congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Dan Kostensky, the principal of the state champions, Madison, for 1981. Let's check now the scoring in the championship game. Go over to the desk and Frank Bassoni.
Thank you, Tom. Well, first of all, take a look at the scoring for the champion Madison Trojans. They were led tonight in scoring by Charles Claggett, he with 18 points. Morris Hughes with 16, 4 fouls. Mark Czar with 6, Pat Hatter, the All-Stater, with 14, and Kerwin Stanley with 4. Foul trouble, but not enough to keep them from winning a state championship. 58 points for Madison. For Dunlap, what a fine game by Mike Reinsman, led with 21 points. Seiler again with 13, doing some good scoring. Carl Birchfield had 4, as did Arbogast, and Berger with 3. The starting lineup going most all the distance for Dunlap in a brilliant season. There's the final statistics as you look at them. Madison 27 for 54 from the field, exact 50%. Dunlap, after a very hot start, 20 for 46 for 44%, which is good. Free throws, 4 out of 9 for Madison. That's 44%. Dunlap, 7 of 13, 54. In the rebound battle, Madison wins the war by 12. And in turnovers, Madison had 13 and Dunlap had 15. It was indeed a very well-played championship game on both sides of the court. Madison wins it, and now let's again go to Tom Stocker.
Okay, thank you very much, Frank. We reflect now on a very successful tournament here in 1981. We had the thrill of watching Walter Downing play in the quarterfinal game. We saw a couple of unheralded teams that haven't been powers. Dunlap and Liberty come through. It's been a great tournament.
This was an outstanding tournament, and of course we truly have an outstanding state champion this year in Madison.
Of course, it also brings to mind, as part of this tournament, a lot of the people across the state did not see, at the buzzer, in the game for third place, one of the subs for Arcaro hit a 58, I estimated a 58-foot jump shot.
I think you were about right, 57 maybe, but anyway, you know, and it was so reminiscent, as we said, of the game we had seen on TV today when Louisville lost a shot at the buzzer on the NCAA tournament. So we saw 2 of those today.
It's part of the high points, the history, the lore, the excitement, the tradition that is Illinois High School Championship basketball. The tournament has been going since 1908. This is the 10th year of 2-class basketball here at Illinois. We've been televising it since 1952. It's great to be part of it. Recapping now the all-tournament team for 1981. First team by Associated Press and UPI. AP was voted on by the media, UPI by the coaches. The members, Anthony Webster of Carroll, Morris Hughes of Madison, Patrick Hatter of Madison, Walter Downing of Providence, New Lenox, Providence, I should say, and Lorenzo Duncan of Carroll. And a tremendous team and great tournament. Tremendous championship ball game. Superlatives all around.
Really, one of the things that impresses me about something like this is the fact that there is a chance for these young people to have the exposure that they deserve, because they work so hard, their coaches work so hard, the schools do, the communities do, and they deserve an opportunity for all the fans around the state to take a look at the work and the achievements that they can do, not only here at the Assembly Hall in basketball, but in the sports throughout the IHSA program. That really enthuses me and excites me, and I'm just delighted to be part of a championship like this and to see all the happiness and the hard work and the athletic competition. It's really a lot of what it's all about.
Illinois high school basketball, second to none across the nation. And those of us who have traveled across the country and watch other high school basketball in other states know that Illinois, unparalleled in the way it plays basketball, and coaches like Keith Baldwin are exemplified the fine way they treat their players, they lead their players, and teach their players.
Well, you know, it's a thrill for me to have been here in this capacity, but I'd trade this weekend to have my team down here. There's no question about that.
You know, great thing about this whole thing, we get to do it all over again in 1982. We'll come back with 8 new teams here on a Friday afternoon. We'll work it all the way down to 1. And also we get to do it one more weekend. Next weekend, the AA tournament comes here to town. We'll have the Super Sectionals on Tuesday night across Illinois. They'll pare down to the Elite 8. Do it again next week. It keeps going time and time again.
It certainly does, and we're surely looking forward to the fans joining us for what should be another brilliant AA tournament. And I think before we leave tonight, we ought to go down the lineup of 1 through 4 once again in this wonderful championship tonight. Of course, Madison winning over Dunlap in the championship game, and then Carroll winning over Liberty in the third-place game. And I can tell you, there's 4 fine basketball teams, and that makes up a beautiful field.
So that'll wrap it up for 1980-81 here in Class A in Illinois. Again, the 1981 state champion, the Trojans of Madison. I'm Tom Stocker. For Keith Baldwin and Frank Bassoni, we bid you a very pleasant good night from Champaign-Urbana.
You've been watching another Illinois High School Association championship event. Your network hosts have been the Stauffer Chemical Company, DeKalb Ag Research, and the more than 750 local DeKalb dealers supplying Illinois farmers with quality hybrid seed, and Country Companies Insurance and the nearly 1,000 Country Companies agents in the state of Illinois.
The boys' Class A basketball game was provided by the IHSA Sports Network in exchange for commercial consideration.